Welcome back, guys. Thank you all for joining me again. Today, I'm going to apologize way in advance. I'm going to talk about something today that really fucking grits on my teeth. There's going to be a lot of F words, going to be a lot of swearing. I'm passionate about this shit right now. And it's things that I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months that have really just been building up and just been grilling on me. And it's about time, right? So I've done some episodes in the past talking about how people don't spend their time right. They complain that they don't have time, and it's not a time problem, it's a priorities issue. I'm going to go deep into that today. I really want to talk about why you're wasting time, where you're wasting time, and why it's just not serving you in any way, shape, or form. So a couple of key points, a couple of things I want to cover today. Firstly, is like just talking about mindless social media scrolling, right? So I'm going to go into that a little bit today. I want to talk about some of the things I've heard from just having conversations with unmotivated, lazy fucking people over the last couple of months. Talking, obviously, most people will know at this point, I have a baby due very soon. Right? And I've never had a baby before. I've never had a child. And I've been hearing stuff from people, lazy, unmotivated people telling me that I'm going to have zero fucking time to do anything that I want when this baby gets here. And it's actually created in recent weeks a limiting belief in my mind that's stopped me from actually doing anything because I've listened to other fucking people, and I've spoken about this in the past as well. I'm going to go into that, like what I've heard from people who've told me things that are just completely irrelevant because it's personal to every single person. Another thing is, like, people that are just, have you ever been out in the street and you've been stuck behind someone who's a slow walker, who just fucking takes their time, or they're slow to order their food when you're stuck behind them at McDonald's, or like a slow driver, someone who drives below the speed limit because they've got nowhere to fucking be. So I want to talk about that as well. Then just emotional triggers, like things that people hide behind procrastination. People will sit behind procrastination because, well, quite frankly, they'll procrastinate because they don't want to do anything. So I'm going to go into that a little bit as well. And I also want to just talk about, like, people just wasting other people's times. Do you know? I see it quite a lot. People will book in a call with me and then just not fucking turn up, and I'll never hear from them again. You're wasting my fucking time. So this is stuff that I want to talk about today. Now I want to go into it a little bit in depth just on this podcast. It's something a little bit different. I haven't done a podcast episode like this before. Please just also note that this is light-hearted stuff. Like, I'm not trying to get in anyone's face. I'm not targeting anyone when I say this. This is just my personal opinion, and this is stuff that really pisses me off. So that's what we're here for today. We're going to hear about things that piss me off. You can take action steps. You might actually look at your life in a little bit of a different way after listening to this. So let's start with mindless social media scrolling, right? This is something that I've been guilty of in the past. Sometimes I'm also still guilty of it, but it's just shit that I need to cut out of my life. And I know a lot of people will also say that they probably need to do too. I'm going to give an example of one of my current clients. I'm not going to mention his name. Gave me a win in his check-in this week. We've been doing a bit of work on this lately. I know it's something that he's been trying to put off. He's been just scrolling. He's managed to get his screen time down by 3 hours. And he'd said in his check-in as well, I have no issue getting my workouts done this week. He didn't say why, but I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, the 3 hours that he usually spent scrolling, he used to get his workouts in, and it was not an issue to get the workouts in anymore. So he stopped mindlessly scrolling. You know, people will spend hours every day, like hours of their day, just scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through YouTube, all sorts of shit, just checking notifications, just hoping that maybe someone's liked their post from 2 months ago. They'll jump between apps. I've done this as well in the past. You'll click on your notification section in Instagram, notice that nothing has changed, drop onto WhatsApp to see if there's any messages come in, realize that no messages have been there, jump back to TikTok, see if there's any notifications, end up scrolling through stupid fucking pointless videos that have absolutely no value in your life. And then by the time 6 o'clock rolls around that evening, you don't even know what you've watched throughout the day, and you've lost all that time. You'll never get it back. The problem with that is people will say that they don't have time, and they'll use it, and they'll say, I just genuinely, I can't find time to go to the gym. I can't find time to meal prep. I can't find time to eat clean. I can't find time to do all this shit. But you're wasting fucking time spending most of your life just jumping in and out of Instagram, of all that sort of stuff. So why are you wasting your time doing this shit when you could do other stuff? Life is very, very short. Right? I'm 30 now, which is not old by any stretch of the imagination, but I remember when I was 15, I used to say, I've got all the time in the world. Now, like, how the fuck am I 30 already? Like, where's that 15 years gone? Life will go pretty fast. If you don't slow down and have a look at what's going on around you, then you're going to miss it. And if you're going to miss it, you don't want to miss it just scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, and just wasting your fucking time. The next thing I want to go into is just things that, this is a thing that's really gritted on me lately, because anyone who's listened to this podcast for a substantial amount of time, and anyone who knows me will know that I could care less about other people's opinion of me. I don't give a fuck what people think about my life. But for some reason, around this subject, it's gotten into my head and it's changed my actions on a daily basis. And it's things that I'm working towards to move away from. But it's really annoying me because it's never happened to me before and it's the first time. It's baby warnings. Okay, so I've never had a baby before, ever. Like, this is the first time I've ever done it. And like most first time parents, like, everyone has to go through at least once in their life. I don't know anything about raising a child. I'm nervous and I'm shitting myself, but I've been talking to a lot of people who don't do the same job as me, people who don't train at the same level as I do, people who make excuses, who spend lots of time scrolling through social media. And they have been telling me that your life is going to become hectic when you get a child. Yes, all right, fair enough. I accept that maybe I will have a couple of sleepless nights, more than likely, more so than less, but that's fine. I can deal with sleepless nights. But when people start telling me that I'm going to have zero life and my whole life is just going to be around minding this child, it just rattles me, because yes, my whole life is going to be for this child, but there's other shit that I need to do in order to be around for that child. So if I had a call with someone who is a dad and he says to me, I don't have time to train because I'm too busy looking after the kid, I would just say, well, fantastic. What about in 10 years time when you can't fucking walk because you're too obese, or you're not able to run around the garden and play with your kid? What are you going to do then? You need to make time now so that you can have time long term as well. So it's a thing that it's gone in my head. I've been really thinking about it recently, how people are just saying you're going to have zero time. And for some reason, it's affected what I do with my business. It's affected, like, I procrastinate a lot more when it comes to getting work done now than I would have done a couple of months ago. And I know now that I need to get more time efficient with what I'm doing with my work. And the only way that I'm going to do that is by stop being a fucking bitch and stop procrastinating on things. And it's a harder thing to say than do, but it's a harder thing to do than what you say. But that is it now. That's where it's at. And it's a belief. It's been put into my head. And like most things, when you get a belief put in your head, it's very hard to shake it. It's the thing that I'm working on right now. So if you are someone who's listening to this, who's had kids or has kids, and you consistently say that you don't have time because of your kids, make time now for your kids in the future. That's what you need to think of. Because you can, like, I've got a really supportive partner. You can rest assured that I will pull back on time and allow her to go and do her training if she wants to do her training. And I will allow her to go away and spend time with her friends or spend time with her family if it means that I stay in for a little bit longer and look after the kid. And I fully expect that she's going to do the same for me. We've had conversations about this. I've optimized. I can train 3 days a week. I can get 3 really decent workouts in 45 minutes. I can get all my work done in 20 hours in a week. That leaves me a lot of time in the week to spend time with my kid, to raise her, to really value the time that I get with her. So that's just a thing that they're just wasting time. The whole purpose of being around, being present for your kids is to be there. So stop wasting time. That's a really important lesson there. Don't forget it. Another place where people waste time, it's just from unmotivated, lazy people. Have you ever been out? Obviously, you've been out. You've been walking through the streets. For some reason, you get stuck behind some fucking idiot who's just, again, scrolling on their phone, looking at their phone, walking really fucking slowly, and you can't get past them. How frustrating is that? That really frustrates me. And I don't know whether it's just because, I see the world a little bit differently than other people. I don't like to arse around, but when someone is slow, they're just consistently wasting your time. It rattles me. Or like slow drivers. You've ever been driving and someone in front of you is driving really fucking slow? The speed limit is 50 kilometers and they're doing 20. It's like they're crawling. That's why tractors infuriate me because they drive so slow and very hard to get past them. It's like, have you got nowhere better to be? It's the time perspective metaphor, basically. So if you get stuck behind these sort of people, it can get very frustrating because, that they don't have urgency. They're probably not, they don't have a direction. They don't have somewhere that they're going. They don't have anywhere to be. So they can just relax. They can take their own time. But in the process of taking their own time, they also waste your time or waste my time, which triggers me a little bit. And I know it shouldn't do, but it does. Some people, it's like they've got nowhere to be. Others, you see other people move with intention. If you see someone that moves with intention and actually wants to get shit done, you will be like, holy shit, you'll be like a magnet to that shit. Because, honest to God, if you have to spend more than 45 minutes in the gym and your workout is at high intensity, you're wasting your time because it's all dead volume after that. So be intentional. That's just one of the most important things you can get out of this episode. Another one is emotional triggers. People will hide procrastination around emotional triggers. If you're super overwhelmed by something, you'll make an excuse and you'll look for you'll look for gratification, right? So a thing that I've spoken about in the past is if you're doing a diet, it's all about practicing delayed gratification because you're not going to instantly see the body that you want because you ate a salad or you stopped eating junk food for one day. That's not how it works. You need to practice it over a long period of time. Problem is when you're stressed, you need to wait until things settle down. You avoid doing the thing that you need to do. And it's usually the thing that you need to do that's the most important thing. So if you're stressed and you are super overwhelmed by everything that's going on, you're probably not going to want to go to the gym. So you'll procrastinate it and you'll procrastinate it. And you'll set an alarm for 6 o'clock in the morning to go into the gym before work. The alarm will go off and you'll say, fuck it, I'll do it this evening. And then the evening comes around and you say, no, fuck it. Do you know what? I can't go this evening. It's too busy. I don't like it when the gym's crowded. And it's a consistent, never ending loop and you're procrastinating over it. Or you say on a Saturday, I'm going to finally sit down. I'm going to prep my meals this week. But then you don't. You'll find something else to do. You'll clean the house. You'll wash the dishes, even though you only did them this morning. And they could probably wait until after the meal prep anyway. But you still procrastinate over it. And you just consistently, over and over and over again, you're wasting your own time when you procrastinate. So if you can identify the triggers that make you procrastinate, you can cut out procrastination. Now, sometimes procrastination is normal. Like it's completely normal to procrastinate. Everyone does. But if you can figure out why, you can work around it. And finally, the last thing is this is the reason why I made this episode is people who waste other people's time. It's one thing for you to waste your own time. It's one thing for you to procrastinate. It's one thing for you to not do your workouts. But if you're wasting someone else's time, what are you doing? Like, do you not realize the most valuable thing in the world is time? If you didn't have time, you'd be dead, right? If I said to you, you can have €1 million right now into your bank account, but you've only got until tomorrow and you're going to die. Or you can have the rest of your life as normal and just live the way that you are. I can 100% guarantee that you're going to pick to live the rest of your life as normal. So it just shows that time is more valuable than money. But why do we waste it? When I see it, people will book in a call with me. They'd be like, oh, I really want to make this change, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. It's no problem. I'll take time out of my day to jump on and have a conversation with you, find out what it is you're looking to do. And then you just don't fucking show up. It doesn't make sense. I remember back in my days when I was on the gym floor and I was PTing, someone would book in a consultation. And this one really annoyed me because if you don't show up for a call, I'm just sat in my house, in my office, and I can just go about my day. I used to have to drive to the gym, which would take me 10 or 15 minutes if they wanted to come in for a consultation. And I'd sit and wait in the gym, and then they wouldn't turn up. Then I have to drive home. So that's half an hour of my day gone, plus the 10 minutes that I'm already waiting, when I could have used it for something different. And when you start thinking about it like this, people just, it's a lack of fucking respect. That's all it is. People just don't have respect for you. If you're doing that, and as soon as someone does that, that's it. You don't get another chance. You're gone. Forget about it. It was the same when like personal training session. I don't do them anymore. I could be sat on the gym floor, turn up for your session to help you train, and you just don't turn up. And I'm just like, right, okay, fair enough. So that's why I had this mad policy is like, if you don't turn up for a session, but you've booked a session, you haven't let me know within 24 hours, you pay me. And that's just how it went because I'm still getting paid for the time that I would have been there. But it grills me. It really does. It annoys the shit out of me because, and it's not just me. I see other people wasting people's times all the time. You ever asked your friend to meet for a coffee and then just message him last minute, say that you can't turn up? I've done that before as well. It's not a right way to live. It's really not. It's disrespectful. You're just disrespecting someone else's time. You need to be super respectful of your own time, but you need to be really, really respectful of other people's times. You ever see like a really high performing individual? You ever see like, I'm trying to think of an example, like the likes of an athlete, let's just say Michael Jordan. You think he's going to sit around and wait for you to show up for a meeting? You've got another thing coming. That man, he planned his days to the very minute, I would imagine. And people don't waste his time because they've got more respect for him. Time is the most important commodity in the world. That's my rant over. I've ranted there for a little bit. It's something that I had to get off my chest. It's been building up and building up over the last couple of weeks. And I just said, where better to talk about it than here? If you've taken anything from this episode, it's don't waste time. You don't know when your last day could be. If you didn't wake up tomorrow, is what I meant to say, then that's it. It's all done. It's all over. For someone who has cancer, for someone who's fighting cancer, for someone who's fighting a harmful illness, for someone who has dementia, they don't know when their last day is going to be. So they need to live every day to the highest of levels. So why don't we? Why do we waste time? Really think about that shit. So I'm going to leave it there. If you're still listening to this point, thank you so much for listening to my rant. I have to get it off my chest. Please don't be afraid to subscribe to this podcast. Follow along so that you can hear future episodes. And if you know a friend who might be struggling to find time, send them this episode. Give them that reality check. Thank you for listening. Speak to you all very, very soon.